Perfect timing as the teams come out. Welcome to Cardiff City TV, the Thursday before Christmas. Where else would you be but glued to your laptop or screen watching what should be a very, very engaging FA Premier League Cup group match between Cardiff City and Watford. John Donovan here with you this evening, gladly joined or have the company of Tom Hopkins. And to set the scene, well, a group that's very, very tight. Cardiff, along with Watford, have 2 matches left, Tom, and destiny's in their own hand. A couple of wins, albeit against Watford and Everton, and the Bluebirds will be looking forward to the next round.
Yeah, absolutely right, JP. I think that the group is wide open as it is, and it's particularly exciting when you've got a good mixture of teams in this group. Again, it's early stages for the competition. We've seen a lot of, well, good results for City and around the table. You know, it's very exciting and, you know, very much in their own hands, I think, for both sides out here tonight, because it'll put you in great stead if you can get a result here with 1 game left in this round.
The under-21 Bluebirds have been in fine form recently under Matt Bloxham and Dane Facey. That's the starting 11 and bench for this evening. Looks like it's going to be a 4-3-3, or perhaps you might call it a 4-2-1-3 with 2 anchor midfielders, Troy Parrott and Cody Tooze. Trey George playing just in front, but it's a very exciting front line of Manny Barton playing from the left, Isaac Jeffries playing from the right, and senior pro Keon Atete leading the line. And Keon will be hoping that this is the real start of his season after having a couple of setbacks in his recovery from injury. So important night from him. Look out, of course, for Louis Giles at number 3. Ability to get forward and a sweet left foot to be able to deliver high-quality crosses. It's an impressive-looking team. Also good to see amongst the bench Adetayi Gabadian continuing his recovery from injury. That is your Cardiff City starting 11. For Watford, under the guidance of Charlie Daniels, a strong team for them. Also, look out for central striker number 9, Laron Torres. It's a good centre-half pairing of captain Joshua Mullins and Alistair Gould, so they'll provide a very good platform for the young Hornets. So it's all set up. What should be a very intriguing encounter. Looks like Watford are also going to match the formation of Cardiff, that 4-3-3. So the midfield battle is going to be crucial. Remind me, Tom, because I haven't commentated on for so long. Atete or Atet? Get back to me. Answers on a postcard. I know I do this every season. Someone will tweet me, I'm sure. We've had a false start. Cardiff will get us underway, playing from left to right. This time we are indeed underway, and the ball is immediately back with goalkeeper Jake Dennis. Goes long looking for Atete. Over his head though, and out for an early throw into the away side. Touched upon there, the under-21s have been in excellent form, and credit to Matthew Bloxham stepping up to take lead charge along with support from Dane Facey. Of course, Darren Pearce, who does so much good work at this level, has been number 2 to Omar Risa in recent months. But this under-21 side, as that ball runs out of play, have been in very, very good form and scoring goals, importantly, which hopefully they'll continue into this evening's encounter.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. I think that, you know, this being a double game week as well for this under-21 side, it's a good opportunity for people to maybe step into roles after Tuesday's fixture. We got a good rotation of players from who started on Tuesday, and tonight, you know, equally as important, I would say. We've topped the table on Tuesday afternoon, and the chance to top the group here tonight.
Cardiff looking to play out. It's an aggressive press led by Torres. Cardiff, it was interesting to read Matthew Bloxham say they had to recover from conceding a goal against QPR, but once they cleared their heads, they were clinical and went and got the win. That ball is spread out to the far side looking for Jeffries. Jeffries gets there first, shows good strength, and now will drive into the box, gets goal side. Good recovery tackle from Almeida, just as Jeffries thought he'd got goal side and had an avenue to goal. Ball is played long, but Cardiff will pick up the bits and pieces in the centre circle. Decent crowd here this evening, certainly to the section away to my left. Supplemented by Darren Pearce and Gavin Chesterfield, who have just joined us. Keen to keep an eye on their young charges. Throw into Watford on halfway. They go down the line. It's a little easy for Torres, although he is isolated. He's faced up by Cook. Torres does well to get a ball into the box, but no yellow shirt was in the vicinity of the 18-yard box. That's an easy take for Jake Dennis, who rolled it out short. Cardiff looking for that controlled build-up from the back. Something that they're trying to establish throughout the club. You may have joined us for the under-18 FA Cup game a week ago last Tuesday, and Cardiff played in this manner also. They've worked it well between the lines, out to the left-hand side. Opportunity for Manny Barton, who scored a hat-trick against Watford under-18s at the weekend, so he doesn't mind playing the team in gold and red. Giles really came into a pocket well there. Barton is robbed. And Prince Skiru, wearing the number 4 shirt, tidies everything up for Watford. Kind of just warming a substitute up early, so just keeping an eye that there's no early injury issues on a cold night. Hopefully no muscle problems or strains. We are, of course, only just about 4 minutes into this one if you're just joining us. Pleased to have your company on Cardiff City TV for this FA Premier League group match between the Bluebirds and the Hornets. Cardiff City against Watford. Cardiff have really dominated position early doors, but that's well won by Almeida. Good recovery tackle. It was Parrott who went to ground. Used to seeing him play a little further up the field perhaps, but very good player, very good on the ball. It was a destructive tackle. That was less so, as there was a foul there on Alistair Gould. And Watford will have a free kick. But, Tom, it's interesting that Cardiff are dominating the ball in the early stages.
Yeah, they certainly like to press the home pressure. I think anybody who's been watching us regularly at home this season when we have been live streaming these fixtures know how we like to play and how we like to set up. And those quick 1-2 passes that you see going up the pitch, it's effective when you've got runners like people like Isaac Jeffries out wide as well, who are able to just get the burners on as soon as possible, play directly out wide.
It's the second time that Torres, who's given up a few inches to both Cook and Lawler, but his physical presence has caused the centre halves a little bit of trouble. Thought he should have had a free kick. Referee waved it away, and Cardiff will again look to play out from the back. Good to see Will Spears back in the lineup at right back. You may have expected to see Ronan Capaccio. Of course, he was on the bench against Stoke on the weekend on merit. Also a little bit of injury cover, of course, and perhaps then you'd expect him to be on the bench for the senior team against Sheffield United on Saturday. But Will Spears is a very good incumbent of that right back shirt. Cardiff going down the left-hand side with Giles. Again, we know all about his crossing ability on his left foot. He's well marshalled though, and he has to go backwards. Cardiff are very patient though, moving the ball well. Watford sticking to their system as they go into a relatively low block. If you are joining us from a Watford persuasion, welcome. We will, of course, try not to be too biased. It's a good tackle as Martin drives inside, gives it to Parrott. Parrott surveys what's around him. Here's Lawler. Lawler tries to thread the needle. There'll be a second chance for the Bluebirds. Here's Spears. Spears as well cut out by Almeida, who started the game in strong fashion defensively. The Watford left back. Got to take a quick throw in, and here's Parrott. Very controlled and measured from the Bluebirds through the first 7 minutes. That might be offside. Atete, did he go too early? Yes. Flag goes up. And Watford will have a free kick.
Yeah, City certainly looking, as you say, composed on the ball, aren't they? Just willing to pass it around the back a bit before being more incisive. I think we can see what we're trying to do here. Unfortunately, he has just been called off. Keon ran a little too early, as you said. Those options are there. We're making those spaces.
So, Tom, before I got a proper job, I was able to skive off a little bit and watch the under-21s. Less so this season. So, you've been a regular viewer, a regular commentator. What are the under-21s doing well?
Well, I think that they're playing incredibly well from the back. Typically, Naturally, I'm a bit worried of the commentator's curse as I say this, but playing comfortably around the back between the likes of Freddie Cook and Dylan Lawler have been great together.
Done that right on cue as they release Barton. Watford a little narrow, so there is space in the wide areas. That pass intended for George is just taken off his toe. Watford prepared to concede possession, of course looking to hit Cardiff on the break, although I would say early doors Lauren Torres wearing the number 9 shirt up front looks quite isolated. Second ball falls Cardiff's way again, or does it? No, it's robbed in midfield. Here is Torres, that's a nice touch. Enough chance for Watford to commit men forward. Freddie Cook has gone out to the left-back position. That's good support by Barton, and Cardiff win the ball back. Well, only momentarily. Omar Risa is in the stand just to our left, watching on, and of course, it's no secret Cardiff haven't, at senior team level, scored an abundance of goals this year, so it would be a big night for Keon Atete to make an impression. Here's Parrott, a footballer I do enjoy watching when he gets on the ball. He can do a little bit of everything. He's dogged, he's well balanced, he sees the pitch well and can spray a pass, so looking forward to watching Troy Parrott this evening. Watford have a throw midway inside the Cardiff half. As Tom was mentioning, it is a very quick turnaround for the under-21s tonight, so they have rotated, but a hectic week. It might be a little taxing on some of the players, some of the legs. Showing maturity so far, though, through the first 10 minutes. 0-0 if you're just joining us. Ball was initially given away by Jeffries. He recovered, and Spears threads a nice pass out as Cardiff look to activate down their left-hand side. Watford just sitting in again, quite a compact, almost 4-2-3-1. So Torres is quite isolated, everyone else protecting the space behind the ball. Spears has some ground to go into. That's a nice little touch-off pass to George. George looking to spin. Atete, oh, he would have been onside that time, but it was just cut out. Decent spot by George. Now Watford can come the other way, perhaps. Again, their player is isolated. This is Nabi Zada. And whilst he made ground, he was eventually robbed. So again, I've liked what I've seen of Will Spears in a Bluebirds shirt. I think he's a very athletic right back and likes to tackle as well.
Was of course subbed on at half-time for Ronan Capaccio on Tuesday afternoon. I think always the plan to give them 45 minutes each, and both did very well in that 2-1 victory.
Watford not entirely controlling that, and Ortelli, the goalkeeper, felt the ball wasn't over the line in his area, so clears away. The away side maybe just still settling into this one. Cardiff once more look to play out from the back as Parrott comes short, trying to draw a press. Well, Torres did well there and forced keeper Jake Dennis into an error. To be fair to Dennis, there was a little bit of speed, velocity on the ball back to him. Torres wearing the number 9 shirt for Watford, Tom. It's a little bit of an isolated role up front, but he started well and working hard.
Yeah, he certainly is, and forcing those kind of errors, I think, will be his game plan this evening. If he's not getting as much service as he would like, he's got to make sure he's working off the ball in the hopes of winning it for his team.
As Nabizada comes short, although Cardiff have numbers. Oh, Nabizada will get the ball back from a miscued pass. It's a little bit messy in the last minute or so. That's lovely balance and a turn away by Spears. Tete. Play it back infield. Oh, it was a good idea from Parrott, the first time ball, but didn't get much purchase on it and concedes possession. This is where Watford are looking to strike. That's a nice angle ball. Chance perhaps in the area. That will be offside. I think the initial chance from the midfielder would have been onside, but as Torres took control there, I think the replay will show Tom that he had gone a little bit early.
Yeah, certainly. I think Cook as well there doing well just to make sure that he's playing that man offside. But nonetheless, they're a bit of a scare for City.
It's well won by Skeru, who was strong. Strike on goal. That's a great save down low by Dennis. It was Keys who really caught that. I think he may have just bounced as well before Dennis. I wouldn't say I'm a goalkeeping expert, but I would put that down as a high-quality save from the Cardiff number one.
Yeah, certainly. Great from Dennis, and to collect it afterwards as well, making sure it doesn't go out for the corner kick.
Cardiff just conceding possession unnecessarily in the last 2 or 3 minutes, and Watford starting to show some quality, because the commentator, as we've mentioned already, just as I say that, Almeida miscontrols the ball and it goes into touch. Cardiff just need to switch on again. Credit to Watford though, they come here with a game plan. It's Barton. He was out looking for Jeffries. It's well won by Almeida. He goes long. That's going to miss Torres. Should be dealt with. Is dealt with by Dylan Lawler. Here's Barton, but he's getting the ball a little bit in the last few minutes, facing his own goal, and he isn't able to make any ground. Again, this is all good learning for Cardiff City, as there's lots of possession of the ball, but it's about patience and rotation and making the right runs. That ball was miscued, and it's back with goalkeeper Ortelli. It's well won in the middle of the park. Here's Atete, nice roll and turn. He clips the ball towards the far post. It's just going to be over Barton, but that was the best moment of the game so far from Kian Atete. That's for Cardiff to come into the box. That ball just held up, and it's cleared away by Skeru. Looks like a very good holding midfielder just in front of the Watford back four, Prince Skeru. Very disciplined, just looking, it's very limited movement, just anchoring in front of the back four, but communicating with everybody. It's a foul, I would imagine it is, as it was a little too eager from Alistair Gould. Cardiff will have the free kick.
They're showing a little more composure now, City, I think. Keep that up as they did in the opening 5-10 minutes of this one.
Lawler thinks about the crossfield switch, and it's a nice, or it is nice distribution. Barton finds Giles. Giles in front of his winger. That's good to see. Barton, nice reverse ball. Can that stay in? It doesn't. Just a little bit too much pace on it to run away from George, but nice idea from Barton. And it is the case, Tom, that if Cardiff are going to have this much possession of the ball, they've just got to stay switched on, stay patient, and it's about that movement off the ball.
Yeah, massively. I think that the chances will come if you are continually around the area with this much possession. Again, as you say, though, just switched on against any kind of counter, which it looks as though Watford may be keen to try and utilise when given that chance.
Here's Barton as Cardiff forced another turnover. It's good feet, tricky feet, good winger play. Puts it into a dangerous area. It's cleared away as Atete couldn't quite get across the near post, but I always like to see a jinking winger. Foul there midway inside the Watford half will result in a free kick for the away side. So, one pull too many there by Louis Giles. Might have got away with the first one. The second one, not so the third. Crossfield ball, which should be dealt with by Spears, is dealt with. He's had a very good first 18 minutes. Free kick to Cardiff as Jeffries was pulled back. Ball is kicked away. Jeffries is asking for a booking. Good win by Spears there, and decent feet by Jeffries. Fouled by Almeida. Oh, it is going to be a booking. Almeida will be booked for kicking the ball away. It's a very silly booking to take. Everyone knows the rules this day and age. I understand frustration, but for a defender now to be on a yellow card for something that's so avoidable is always going to frustrate the manager.
So early on as well, isn't it? With the score at 0-0. Not a necessary thing to do.
I imagine there'll be an instruction to get Isaac Jeffrey on the ball, running at Almeida at every possible opportunity. Yes, good feet again. Always impresses me with his balance and ability to drive like this. Good tackle from Almeida. Credit to him. He recovered well. Ball down the line looking for Torres. Again, it's good hold-up play from the number 9, despite giving away some size. This is good from Jeffries, though. Powerful run forward. Chance perhaps for a strike at goal. It ricochets off a defender and back to goalkeeper Ortelli. But just in the last few moments, Isaac Jeffries has come to life.
Yeah, he really has. I think that it's one of the things he's really showcased this season is just how direct he likes to play. Always a willing runner, and when he gets the ball at his feet, he does just ooze confidence when he's coming in towards that final third.
Almeida received that ball from the goal kick. There was 4 blue shirts immediately around him. He didn't look like he wanted it particularly, and Cardiff have turned over the ball once more. Cardiff have, as Tom said, recovered from 1 or 2 moments around about 5-10 minutes ago where they were a tad complacent, and now they seem to be on the front foot once more. It's Parrott. This was a little loose, and Watford will pick up second phase possession. Skirou, didn't look like the worst ball in the world, but Nasir Edwards didn't feel he could reach it. Gave up a little prematurely from this vantage point, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It's a nice touch, although it is kept in. Thought it might have rolled out of play, but that was good from Trey George. He really saw the whole pitch there. Jeffries is screaming for it. Giles has other ideas, puts a shot on goal, stings the palms of Ortelli. And when you've got a left foot like Louis Giles, I suppose why not put it on goal?
Yeah, certainly that. I think that keeper Ortelli has gone down with an injury. Wouldn't imagine perhaps from the collision and making that save, perhaps maybe a little awkward.
Looks like the right hamstring. Again, it is a cold night here at Cardiff International Sports Stadium at Leckwith, so you have to take precautions against those muscle injuries. Chance for both sets of players to come in towards the dugouts for instructions. Our first chance to remind you, of course, that the senior men's side are back in action on Saturday. Leaders Sheffield United come to the Cardiff City Stadium, and we would advise, implore you to get to the stadium if you can. But of course, if you can't, we have you covered on Cardiff City TV. That was a really good save, I think, from Jake Dennis, getting down low. That was a strong hand, and as you said, a good claim afterwards. Yeah,
absolutely. It's an important moment, I think, in these opening 20-odd minutes. While we haven't been tested too much, when it has come in, Jake Dennis has been equal to it. On the other side as well, I think City the better for the chances so far.
How was the office Secret Santa, Tom? Did you get anything nice?
Just Cadbury buttons, which I'm happy enough with. And you?
Yeah, I got a bag of celebrations, so clearly we're well thought of by both of our colleagues.
Very popular.
'Tis the season. Anyway, let's get back to the action. I think Ortelli's going to be just about all right. We are back underway. Almost 23 minutes gone here, still 0-0. Cardiff have dominated possession, perhaps haven't really created a clear-cut chance. Best save of the game was from Jake Dennis, the Cardiff goalkeeper. But the Bluebirds in the last 10 minutes have been a bit more dynamic, encapsulated by that running there by Barton. He's fouled, there'll be a free kick. And it looks to me like Barton can do a little bit of everything. He can play good technical football, but he can also be a winger that just likes to drive at people.
Really can, and he has a good pace and finishing ability. Keep in mind that he only made his debut for the under-21s this season. Making that step up is naturally no small feat, especially for a player who's 17, 18 years old.
Free kick for Cardiff and a chance to put it towards the far post. Giles does just that. It's well won by Skiru. Good technique on the volley from George. It was right down the throat of Ortelli, but he took that out of the air very well. We concede possession a little easily. And Cardiff will be able to build again. Seems that the left side is where there might be greatest room, greatest joy, as Barton provides a step over, puts it into a good area, and that needed the interception from Gould, otherwise Atete was in. And Barton is starting to really grow into this game.
Certainly has. He's been bright all evening, I think, but just getting that run of confidence again. Just going back to the volley as well from Trey George here on the replay. Great technique on it, isn't it, to get over that, and it's coming down.
Cardiff have a corner kick. They have bodies towards the far post. That's where it's aimed. It's well hung up. Almeida deals with it well. Watford clear it up rather than out. So it's going to be a battle of heads in that box. Cardiff win it, but the flick on won't meet Atete, and that was an awkward landing there for Dylan Lawler, I believe, who's gone down just on the small of his back. Dominated well in the air to get there, but again, hitting a hard surface on a cold night, that's going to take the wind out of you momentarily.
Absolutely, yeah, he did really well to get that high. When that header, Keon Atete was waiting for it, had managed to get back on side. Luckily, he's able to just run this one off, get back into position for a drop ball.
Still await the breakthrough. Now looks to play down their right hand side, but that's a strong foot in by captain Freddie Cook. Barton does good defensive duty. Cardiff turn over the ball and perhaps can break with a little bit more pace on this occasion. Watford have their players back now. It's a nice weight of pass from Spears. It's a good football. A nice cross from Jeffrey to Tete. Oh, could he have grown a little bit more to get there? Barton. Chance for Perrett. It's blocked. I haven't seen the replay of that cross because I thought it was going to fall perfectly on the head of Atete. Get the ball back in their own half. Spears and Jeffries combined ever so well there, and it was a gorgeous cross from Jeffries, one that any striker would want to attack. Nice ball to Barton, who stretches Watford down that left-hand side. Again, go to the left. Giles provides the width. It's a nice ball in once more, and once more Gould has to get there ahead of Atete. He does so. Ortelli will claim. those listening in tonight, it'd be interesting to know what your favourite festive Cardiff City games have been. Lots of memories from down the years. I was thinking today about, I think, a Boxing Day game against Shrewsbury at Ninian Park when Danny Hill scored a delightful chip. Didn't play many games for Cardiff City, but could have been a very good footballer, Danny Hill. I think we beat Shrewsbury on Boxing Day in Frank Burrows' promotion season, second Frank Burrows promotion season. Anyone wants to tweet in with their, well, it's not tweet anymore, if anyone wants to X in with their favourite festive memories. Tom, anything spring to mind? Or is it just the Cadbury buttons?
Well, the first fixture that comes to mind, oddly enough, is the first one that I worked, which is the Premier League season, Crystal Palace away. But where the most memorable moment is probably the Bruno Manga tackle.
I remember it well.
Definitely the highlight of the day in a...
It was a 0-0 draw, I believe, wasn't it?
Cold and dreary 0-0 draw.
I remember Kadeem Harris having a chance late on, but anyway, Cardiff. Well, will there be an opportunity for Barton to come in narrow? No, Ortelli clears away. Spears can't pull out of the air. Here's Torres, who's looked the most likely. It's good covering back, just as Fraser Smith thought he was into the air, and it's a beautiful turn as well. That was Parrott. As I mentioned, I do enjoy watching as a footballer. Spears, can he get there? He can't, just runs out of play.
A joy to rewatch here, I think. Really sticky situation initially, but Parrott just... It's a great tackle. Instead of clearing it right away, though, he does that little turn, which I don't think anybody saw coming.
That will be on his personal highlight reel. Has that build as well, Troy Parrott, where he looks like he'd be comfortable maybe playing senior football. He wouldn't be overly bullied. Speaking of that, that was a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge, which has resulted in Watford. Well, they should have made more of that. The step over really wasn't necessary, and Cardiff clear away.
A quick look over the shoulder would have saved them that.
Watford's having a few moments though. Here's Nabizada. Yeah, there's going to be a foul in there. There was a couple of times where Cardiff City players just nibbled at the ankles. Referee played advantage but pulls it back. No chance for Watford to load the box. Good shift and move on a couple of occasions there from Nabizada. It is he who takes the free kick, hanging it up to the far post. It's one, but headed back across the box. Cardiff do eventually deal with it, and a chance maybe for a one-on-one battle. Barton will put pressure on, and does well. He turns the ball over. Now, does he have support? As Watford look to get men back. Crossing opportunity, perhaps. Back to Barton. Big moment, big block. It was Skiru who saved what would have been the opening goal, but you have to give credit. Manny Barton just would not give that up.
No, absolutely not. Did well to find the option to his right as well, but that's all just from a hit and hope clearance, really, isn't it? Barton just not giving up, though. Makes that space for himself there with a little touch. Fed back to him really nicely, and it is a top quality block, I think, that stops it.
Corner kick for the Bluebirds again towards the far post. Tete is being wrestled. It never came to him in the end, so the referee didn't have to make a decision. That's good balance and strength by Joshua Keys. He's pulled to the ground, so that will be a free kick to Watford and perhaps a booking for preventing it being taken early. And the referee is going to grant clemency on this occasion. Cardiff again move the ball to the left-hand side, and Barton for once can't take that in stride. It'll be a throw in to Watford. This is that cross, I believe, from a few minutes ago. Looks beautifully weighted.
Just slightly misread the running of the ball, I think, in the air.
Of course, it might have been the case that Kiana Tete was always scheduled to start this, but we learnt in Omar Reese's press today that Michael Ringdorf has... Well, we'll wait for a moment as that. As Cardiff have a goal-scoring opportunity. They take it. Jeffries does it all by himself. We were talking about Michael Ringdorf being absent, and he's been a huge source of goals for the under-21s this season. Isaac Jeffries said, nobody needs to worry about that. I'll put pressure on, I'll turn over the ball, and I'll also show a very, very composed finish. Mistake from the Watford backline there, but all credit goes to Jeffries, and the Bluebirds have a 1-0 lead.
Massively deserved, and it's been coming, I think, just that pressure on the back line, chasing those lost causes, and just as it's really, isn't it, for Jeffries, the work he's put out so far in this opening 33 minutes. To put the keeper under pressure, it's a left-footed finish, it's brilliant, isn't it?
It's one thing turning over the ball, Tom, but if we get a chance to see that goal again, it's another thing to finish it in such a composed way. Slightly off balance, there are bodies on the line. It's a very, very cool finish.
Yeah, it's terrific, and what a way to take the lead here in Leckwith.
Cardiff do just about deserve that. Good feet once more from Nabizada, who looks like he could be a tricky winger. Needs to perhaps be in some more advanced positions. It's a nice way to ball. Barton has come in from the left-hand side into a central position. He is actually well tackled, but Barton seemingly is all energy and gets himself into some very, very good areas. Kind of contain Watford once more. Barton infield, that's nice. Drill to the feet of George, but he controlled it well. Pass is slightly behind Atete. Jeffries recovers it though, and Atete will get another chance. His ball cans off a Watford player. Again, Cardiff do well to retain it. That's a foul. Good feet by George. And this feels like it could be a striking opportunity, perhaps for Louis Giles. Cody Twos also seems very interested. But I would expect, after that great feat from Cherry George, this potentially to go on goal.
I think so. It's a great position, isn't it? And no matter who's taking it, I think we've got plenty of people in this team who are able to take the shot on. Louis Giles, of course, a couple of years ago, playing for Wales under 17s, I think managed to score from about 35 yards. One of the first things that comes to mind when you do think of Louis.
Just seeing the goal again, Tom, and it's not Telly, let's be honest, makes a real mess of it. But just here when he wins the ball, it's going away from goal. This composure, I think that's a really underrated finish.
Exactly, the ball's not exactly running away from him either, is it? It's kind of under him, and he's got to get back under it to chip it well out of the reach of a defender.
Giles hits the wall. Where will the deflection go? It'll go out for a corner. Louis Giles maybe didn't get his best connection on that one. Can't be perfect every time. Cardiff do though have corner. Feels like the temperature's dropped a little more in the last few moments. Should have got the big coat out, my mum did tell me, but it wasn't sensible. Cardiff changed the angle by going short. That's not offside. Ball, oh, it's slightly overhit. That's unfortunate because Cardiff had worked it well. But the end result will be a goal kick to Watford.
The effort certainly there, just the execution this time, unfortunately. See how clearly planned it was, however, just rushing straight back onside from having taken a corner kick.
This Cardiff team looked very, very well drilled. Again, we say that Darren Pearce has obviously done a lot of groundwork with this team, but huge credit to Matthew Bloxham, the way he's picked it up and run with it over the last few months, supported by Dane Facey. And the 21s have been in very good form, and even with the rotation from Tuesday, they all seem to know their roles, and they seem to be a very mature side.
Yeah, certainly. I think that if you watch week to week, there's a lot of positional changes. We've seen Isaac Jeffries play at right wing back at times and right back. Just that occasionally needing to happen for maybe a lack of people in a certain position. You know, keep in mind Tom Davis, who's been stellar for the under-21s, isn't featuring in the starting lineup tonight. So the boys that have stepped in, you know, they've got big shoes to fill, as it were.
Watford can have a chance to approach the box. Great feet from Torres. It was just taken off him. I think there was a last-ditch tackle there by Cook. Cardiff will eventually get the free kick. Be interesting to see this replay. Cardiff were playing good football, and then the ball from George was just slightly behind his man. I think it was Cook who had to be careful because he was in the box. Torres, good feet, and it's just that last little touch from Cook. That was an important interception by the captain.
Yeah, well composed by Cook there. He's not going to go lunging in and give away the penalty. Just saw that little bit of space to get onto it. And that crucial touch.
There's a Tete. Good first touch, took it away from his body. Can't, though, make anything from the situation, and Watford will have a throw in. There's been moments from Keona Tete. You have to sympathise with just how long he's been out with injury and got himself back to full fitness for that. The Brentford friendly, or if not full fitness, at least into game shape, and then suffered a setback. So hopefully it will be a big second half of the season for him. It would benefit both him and Cardiff City if that were to be the case. Yeah, decent first touch from Atete, gives it to Spears. Spears saw what he was trying to do, but so did the Watford player. Cardiff's work rate, though, when they lose the ball, it's very, very good. Very, there's the fashion, the phase started by Guardiola, that you've got to win the ball back in 10 seconds or so. I think actually Johan Cruyff at Barcelona might have started it, but Guardiola was a student of that. You can see, though, Cardiff, every time they lose the ball, they're looking to win it back so quickly. Yeah,
and they adapt and change the shape to suit that need. I think whenever Watford have looked like they've been on the counter, they're very rarely doing it with a numerical advantage, just because the amount of blue shirts also rushing back. This side has conceded very few goals in the league so far this season. I think it's only 10 after 11 or 12 played. And there's a reason for that.
I'm impressed by the under-21s. It's not absolutely edge of your seat stuff, but I do again sense a maturity and a very well drilled team. Again, credit to Matthew Bloxham for that. This man has been good all half, Barton. Minutes left till half-time. Cardiff going into game management mode, perhaps. It's nice how they've broken a layer of press there, and it's a good release pass to Barton. He just can't quite keep it in. That's unfortunate, as Cardiff had done well there. There's a variation to their game. good movement, switch balls on occasions, wingers coming narrow, fullbacks pushing on. There's a lot to like about this performance.
Yeah, you're certainly right, and it's textbook kind of how they've been trying to set out to play games. I think Watford have fallen right into this game plan that City have set up beforehand.
Although those few unforced errors, and Cardiff have to win the ball back, they do so. That's a nice chest off. That's good from George. About 90 seconds left of the opening 45. Barton is fouled once more. Again, it's an opportunity perhaps to put the ball on goal. I would advise to keep an eye on this young man because, again, I think he can do the subtle stuff, but he's also an old-fashioned winger who likes to run at players. I think we all like that little bit of excitement. Maybe not a shooting opportunity, a ball to the back post perhaps, as Cardiff seem to load that area. And Cardiff get a second before half-time. Nope, they can't, because there was a foul in the midst of that, and Watford will have a free kick.
Good delivery by Giles in the end, just unfortunate for the foul in the build-up there.
Spears reads that well, steps in, beautiful footwork, balance once more. Well, I became a member of the Will Spears fan club last year when I was watching him, and having seen him for the first time this season, I haven't changed my opinion. Tenacious right back who's also an extremely good footballer. Watford create something prior to half-time. A little bit of room now for Nabizada, and in the attacking third, which he hasn't really had thus far. 2 minutes of added time. Need a Nabizada exchange passes. Nabizada now will try to drive inside. Great tackle by Spears. Wasn't going to let the winger get away. Now Perrett back to Lawler. Barton once more as the outlet. Giles is advanced ahead of him. I think timed his run very well there to stay on side. Giles now puts the ball across. Tete on the stretch. Can't quite make contact. That was lovely though from Cardiff City on the left-hand side. It's really interesting to see how aggressive and high up the field Louis Giles was. Jeffries puts it towards the far post. It's dealt with well by Albert Ames. Will be picked up though in midfield by Perrett. Watford felt there could have been a foul there. Cardiff though seemingly will end the half on the front foot. Can they create one more chance? Barton, that's going to be a little too much, I think, and run away. It is indeed. It'll be a goal kick to Watford.
City here just showing how quickly they can make it happen with just 2 passes really, including the cross here, and Tete's almost in. I think the ball just bounces slightly over his foot as he's stretched out for it. So direct when we want it to be, mixed with that composure at the back.
Nabizada will pick up a loose ball, does well, protects the ball. Is that a free kick? It's not. Well won again. Atete, that's a nice way he drew his marker in and then went behind. And the foul will draw a yellow card for the captain, Joshua Mullins. You didn't quite see it on the replay there, but that was good movement by Atete, who went short and then went beyond the defender.
Yeah, he read that well, that the ball could run beyond him, not needing to just kill it there.
We're in the dying embers of this half. Is there one more moment? Cardiff goes short, which invites, and right on cue we get the half-time whistle. It's in a controlled half from the Bluebirds, and they got the breakthrough they deserved. At the break, it's Cardiff City 1, Watford 0. It's Isaac Jeffries who has given the lead to the Bluebirds. And just Tom, before we finish, go and get that half-time cup of tea. Your thoughts on that first half?
Just very composed overall, I think, and certainly deserving to be leading. Perhaps by a little more even, just managing to take advantage of that mistake by the keeper Ortelli. I think Jeffries did really well there, and City can go in overall quite pleased with themselves, I think, and just having really put themselves on the front foot throughout. Now just need to make sure that they follow through with the game plan in the second half.
We will leave you with some highlights. I would agree and echo those points by Tom. My first viewing the under-21s live this season, and we're seeing a few half chances Watford had. That was more than a half chance, good save from Dennis, that were a result of Cardiff conceding possession. But for the most part, I would say that it was a very impressive controlled performance by the Bluebirds. And again, just emphasise the fact they look very, very well drilled, that everyone knows their roles. And as well as crediting the players, you have to credit Matthew Bloxham and Dane Facey for that. Will it continue into the second half? We shall see. We will leave you with these highlights and replays. Tom and myself will go off in search of a warm cup of coffee somewhere. At the break, it's Cardiff City 1, Watford 0. It was always. Oh, wait for a moment. It was always. Again, perfect timing. Just about ready for kickoff. Welcome back to Cardiff City TV. John Donovan, Tom Hopkins, as we get the second half underway in this FA Premier League Cup game between the Bluebirds and the Hornets. 1-0 to Cardiff at half-time. A couple of substitutions for the Bluebirds, which will show on the screen. Indeed, we are showing on the screen already. Jack Thomas is on for Dylan Lawler. Morgan Wigley came on as well. And with my increasingly poor eyesight, I haven't quite worked out yet who he's on for, but we will clarify that and run you through the lineup ASAP. Watford have a throw in. Well, it's actually pretty obvious who Morgan Wigley's come on for. Kian Atete got 45 minutes. So Morgan Wigley will now lead the line. And oh, he's in. Chance from an acute angle. What a finish. What an introduction. Morgan Wigley. What was that? First, second touch. And the Bluebirds have a 2-0 lead.
Well, that's such a quick goal. I almost didn't have the chance to catch it myself the first time round, and I will enjoy the replay even more, I think.
It's another great finish, Tom. You were ferociously typing away there because the ball holds up on him from the... it was a lovely intended pass, but the ball does hold up on him from the deflection. You'll have a first sight of this. But look at this finish, because it's acute. It's from an angle. It's whipped over the goalkeeper. That's quite the introduction.
Just the slightest of deflections on it, but it's really good and well put through for him as well. Absolute dream start to a feature off the bench for Morgan.
So just to confirm those changes, Jack Thomas has come on for Dylan Lawler. Jack Thomas will play at left back. Louis Giles will move in to play as the centre half, left centre half, and Cook will move to right centre half. That was a little wild and ragged on Troy Perrott. And then a like-for-like swap up top. Kian Atete coming off to be replaced by now a goal scorer, Morgan Wigley. So we see a replay of that foul in the middle of the park. Good balance from Perrott, but the Bluebirds couldn't really have wished for a better start to the second period. Charles marshals that well. So just to say, thank you. We actually have had a few comments on X for our seasonal game, particularly Boxing Day memories. I have a favourite that I've seen. I know Tom's got a couple as well. This is turning into a festive cheer game for the Bluebirds at the start of this second half as they're attacking the box with conviction. It's great to see Omar Risa here, and I can actually hear him to my left talking these youngsters. Of course, he's not down in the dugout, they can't hear him, but he's very invested in talking these youngsters through the game. Commented earlier, my memory that came to mind today was Shrewsbury Boxing Day game when Danny Hill scored in Frank Burrows' promotion season. I do remember a few days later we went to Brentford under Ron Nodes and they were spending a lot of money at the time. Herman Ariderson scored a winning goal. I do remember Cardiff fans just taking over Griffin Park that day though. Oh, and that's given away by Giles. He recovers well though, made up for his own error. Needs to stay on his feet now though as Nabizada has possession of the ball, and it was he and Torres who perhaps looked the most likely for Watford in the first half. Also an apology to Watford fans. It was a team sheet error, but I've been reliably informed that number 9 is Laken Torres. So my apologies to the Torres family and to Watford fans listening in for my mispronunciation during the first half. That ball did go out, or actually it was handball I believe, so Cardiff will get the restart. Important time to score at the start of the second half, because you imagine Watford would have been motivated and looking to make an impression at the start of the second 45 minutes. Cardiff really taking any proverbial wind out of the sails. It's nice from Wigley, tight to the touchline. He's a good start to the second half, hasn't he? He's driving forward once more. Can he pick a pass? Gives it wide to Jeffries. Jeffries back inside, shooting opportunity, and decided to take it with the outside of the right foot rather than put the left foot through it. In the end, if it's a comfortable save from Ortelli, but nice link-up play between Wigley and Isaac Jeffries.
Yeah, I think right decision from Jeffries just to try and get his second of the night. Quite an unorthodox finish, but here he comes again.
No let up from the Bluebirds. Jeffries is held up, but Cardiff recycle. That pass is a little short and taken away from twos. Cardiff win it back once more, though. It's been just characteristic of their game how quickly they win the ball back when they lose it. Watford don't have a moment to breathe, let alone string a couple of passes together.
No, I think they found it a little overwhelming, perhaps. But the press has been very effective. It's not been pressing for the sake of pressing. It's been pressing with the genuine intent of just winning that ball back quickly.
It's just Wigley to Jeffries, and fullback, I think, expecting him to go down the outside. He came back inside and then went with the right foot. Couldn't generate enough power on it. I have to say, I'm thoroughly impressed by this under-21 side. It's beautiful as Parrott threads the needle to George. George keeps it running to Jeffries. Jeffries has Spears on the overlap. He puts a cross into a dangerous area. He'll run away from Barton. Can't keep it in. It will be a goal kick. Support off the ball and angles of running. It's all there. I'm suddenly getting very jealous, Tom, that you've been able to watch the under-21s all season. I haven't quite had as much time to do it, but they look like a very entertaining side.
Well, perhaps I think you should be taking longer lunch breaks, JP, throughout the rest of the season.
I'll let you take it up with my boss. Watford have a chance to attack the left-hand angle of the penalty area. Spears stands up. Abizada, but there is an overload. Poor cross, though. That'll be a goal kick to Cardiff, just as Watford had a chance to put the ball into the box. Did mention there'd been a few festive memories that had come in. I know Tom's got a couple, but I want to give a shout out to, is it Gigi or Grumpy G Will, who has gone back in time to say Xmas 1957. 3 home games, Barnsley were beaten 7-0, Liverpool 6-1 and Stoke 5-2. 18 goals in consecutive games, still a record, and what a memory as well. Thank you for that. Charles commits a foul there as he got a little underneath the ball and wrestled his man to the ground. Asked Tom whether he'd put up a prize for the best Christmas memory, but he doesn't want to give up his Cadbury's buttons, which were mentioned earlier.
I think they're all gone by now.
We'll go short to Keys. It's nice from Zada, and he reverses a ball. Keys shot a goal, and it hits the bar. Maybe a little bit of fingertips in there as well from Dennis. Indeed, there must have been, because it is a corner kick. But Nabizada has been threatening to do that on a number of occasions, and Keys actually showed good intent and awareness that he didn't really have time to take a touch, had to take the shot on. Best moment of the game for Watford.
And another good save for Dennis.
We'll come back to that as I want to see this corner kick. Still wasn't the near post, and it's headed in. Watford are back in the game. There's Almeida, who comes away from the near post. It's going away from goal, so it's a very, very well-controlled header as he sends it into the bottom corner. And Watford, well, they are back in this one. The left back with the goal. We see a replay of what led to the corner kick. This was the shot that was turned away by Dennis onto the bar. And And then Tom, from the resulting corner, it was a very well-controlled header by KK Almeida to bring Watford back into the game.
Just come off the back of his head there, isn't it? He's diverted it well. City, of course, now will be disappointed that that lead's only been halved again.
And Watford have life back. And immediately go on the front foot once more. Wigley went a little early there. That was going to be offside. Just having a look at Watford, and seemingly they've asked their full-backs to be a little wider, maybe a little higher starting positions. Trying to win that back. That was a lovely touch from George, and Barton stayed on side. He's got a chance to immediately restore the 2-goal spread. He does. 3-1 to the Bluebirds. Just as they did against QPR, recovering from conceding a goal. And Manny Barton, who's been excellent all night long, gives the Bluebirds their 3rd goal of the evening.
What a terrific response from Cardiff City here. Just as it looks as though they may be a bit of a nervier bit of play following this goal back. It seems as though Manny Barton just taking that in his prime, isn't he? Just fantastic finish.
It's a beautiful through ball from Perrett, but I've got to give a shout out there to Trey George. It's the little touch that opens up the whole pitch. Fantastic work from the number 10. And we see that goal again a little later. Just have a look at that subtle touch that takes it into the path of Perrett, but opens up the angle for the pass. Lovely weight of pass from Perrett, and Barton with a composed finish. So just when Cardiff thought that the nerves were going to start jangling, they immediately go back and score a quality 3rd goal. Nice touch out of the air from Wigley. It's been pushed, pulled, keeps going. Still keeps going. Eventually that pass is intercepted, and Watford have a chance to really drive towards the box with numbers. Shot at goal is blocked. 2nd chance, perhaps. Good block again, this time from Thomas. Barton gets back and gets a touch on it, which sends the Watford player closer to the byline. Then Barton actually picks up or intercepts the ball. Infield, nice pass once more. Cardiff have angles to play, and they have numbers. Here's Perrett, creator of the 3rd goal. Can he pick the right pass once more? It's a little square, perhaps, for Barton. Gives the defender a chance to get body position. And Ortelli makes the claim. Perrett on that occasion maybe had a little bit too much time and too many options, and maybe caught between the devil and the deep blue sea as Watford make a change. It's number 8, Zach Fraser-Smith, who will be coming off to be replaced by, this is a name that rolls off the tongue, Ignacio Garcia Romero. Also, Lachlan Torres, who worked very, very hard in the first half, is coming on. I believe I saw the number 12 there, which would make that Jonathan Lawson, who's coming on in his place. It is indeed number 12. So a couple of changes for Watford. As they get the game back underway once more. The player has gone to ground. That's the recently arrived Jonathan Lawson, and hopefully the referee will just tell the young man to calm down here. Otherwise this would be a very unfortunate introduction. Both players have been called over, so I think it was 6 and 1, half a dozen the other, with Jack Thomas involved as well. There's something of a handshake. See if we pick this up on camera. It's just slightly away. But we'll keep an eye on those two battling for the rest of the night, as immediately they're in close quarters once more. wins the header. Is Ames, but Cardiff picked that up. And a chance for Jeffries to drive forward. He's looking for width outside, and that comes from Spears. Thomas did well in that under-18s game last week. Giles might get a second bite of the cherry, does, and actually shows composure after initially giving the ball away. Wigley gets studs on that, and it was a nice idea. It's just going to be a little too long for Barton. So Watford go long, and they have that more physical option up front now with Lawson, who's a big presence wearing the number 12 shirt. Slight period of scrappy play. Summed up by that pass from Navizada, who wasn't under a great deal of pressure there, and puts it into touch for a Cardiff throw-in.
Yeah, I don't think it could have been illustrated better by you making that point.
Here's Jeffries, scorer of a very good first goal, individual goal. Has to retreat though, do some defensive work. Wigley also assists with that, as again Cardiff not giving Watford a chance to make any real progress. Tom mentioned earlier, if you're just joining us, it's a very tight group. Cardiff with 2 games left, this one and a game against Everton in very early February. And 2 wins, Tom would likely see the Bluebirds make progress.
Yeah, certainly would. I think that City, you know, so far in this campaign, this Premier League Cup campaign, have done very well, notwithstanding today even an away draw against Everton. Certainly noteworthy against, you know, a Category 1 academy.
Barton makes ground once more. Lovely threaded pass to Thomas. Needs to pick his head up. Gives it back to the edge of the area. Here's George. George makes a little bit of room. Will he take on the shot? Does. It's blocked. Cardiff will reclaim possession once more, though. Parrott, who is a player who can really dictate a game. That ball goes out. In terms of those Christmas memories, Tom, it seems that 2010 is a popular one. I think that's Olive and Johnny in the snow at CCS, isn't it?
Yes, had a couple of comments on our live stream, and with good reason.
Winning by a few goals that day. A big snow of 2010. Remember, Chris Riggott made one of only 2 appearances for the Bluebirds that day. He was injured at Ashton Gate. That's going to be a corner kick to Cardiff. Injured at Ashton Gate in the very next game and never played for Cardiff City again. Talented centre half who was blighted by injuries throughout his career. Cardiff will have a corner after a more incisive play down the left-hand side as Matthew Bloxham gives further instructions to Manny Barton. Seemingly can do a little bit of everything. There's Troy Parrott, who made good ground to get into the box. Can't say, such an athletic midfielder, Troy Parrott. He can put in tackles, he can make passes. Someone I expect a big future from. It's not the best corner Cardiff or Parrott will ever deliver. He needs to avoid the ball as he would be offside, and that was intelligent, and Twos is able to find Parrott. Back to Giles. The player has gone down, I think with cramp, as Parrott drives himself forward. George can't quite spread the play out to Jeffries, and there'll be a free kick for handball and a chance for the Watford player to receive some treatment. Tom, you've seen a lot of him, and I assume you understand what I mean about Troy Parrott. He looks like he is certainly in terms just of his physique, but also his attitude. He's perhaps looks older than his years.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think this is in a side where, particularly, you've got a lot of regular under-21s players here who could also be playing for the under-18 side. So it's a matter of how the academy here is, whereby if you're ready to make that step up, very often you will be doing so. Troy Parrott is definitely one of those who's, matured because of that. I think making those appearances when he was younger, and now he's flourishing in this level now that he is of that correct age.
Pops across to our right hand side to talk to Gavin Chesterfield and Tom Hutton. Tom Hutton doing a great job with the under 18s, and again you would have seen them if you were with us last week get through in the FA Cup, the 3-2 win over Chesterfield. Gavin Chesterfield himself, no pun intended, heading up the academy, that excellent facility now at Llanrumney, and credit to Cardiff City and Steve Borley for the investment into that facility, which hopefully will allow these promising footballers that Cardiff seem to have on their books to make the most of their potential. Certainly there's a lot of potential amongst this side that we're seeing tonight. We're underway once more. Here's Ames, back into Skiru, but that's given away. Wigley shows great pace, he's in, can he score? He looks to go round the keeper, maybe made the angle a little bit tight, acute for himself. The ricochet actually comes off Wigley and will go out for a goal kick. Unfortunate, but the way he pounced on that and then showed the speed. The first part was very good, Tom, just couldn't quite manage the finish.
No, just that last touch, I think, before the strike's a little heavier than he'd have liked. Keeper did well to round him out as well, mind.
Spears has to stay with his man, does well, and he's pulled back. Spears did very well there, just to get his body across the attacking player for Watford. Got good body position, which resulted in the foul. He can be pleased with his night's work through 67.5 minutes. A little bit of head tennis in the middle of the park, which continues. Who's going to bring it out of the air? Well, that's a nice little touch off, and Thomas thought about going into the tackle. Actually held his position well and held up Garcia Romero. Barton, a little bit left on him, but it was a fair tackle by Gould. I don't think there's anything wrong with centre halves doing that if there's an opportunity to take ball and man. But I'm a little old, a little cynical. Ball down the line looking for Wigley. It's over the top of him, and Watford will look to go back to their goalkeeper until he goes long. Giles is up against Lawson. Giles gets first contact. It goes backwards, but it's tidied up well by Spears. Ball into midfield. Gave the opportunity to Watford to intercept, and they have it on the left-hand side, looking to manufacture a crossing opportunity. Cardiff have forced them back, held their line well. There's Navizada. It's a lovely ball into the box. That touch was a little heavy. It was a good run by Skiru, who was involved in much of that play, and he did make a good driving run, which Navizada looked to find. It was a nice idea, just that touch there, a little heavy, and it'll be a goal kick to Cardiff City. Just a reminder once more, the Championship League leaders come to Cardiff City Stadium on Saturday. We would love you to join us at the stadium and support the team. What will be a challenging encounter, but one where no doubt the Bluebirds will give it everything. Of course, if you can't make it, please join us on Cardiff City TV, where we'll have coverage and keep you fully in the loop. Booking there, I think, for Spears for handball. Seems a little harsh, but the referee decided that was a deliberate act. So the Cardiff fullback will now be on a booking. That is not the most glamorous free kick in the world. And Watford are set on the back foot. Cardiff are able to bring their unit up the field. Watford just enjoying a little bit more possession, though, as perhaps Cardiff don't activate quite that aggressive press that we've seen through the first 50 or so minutes of the game. Maybe now just managing their lead. It's allowing Watford to have more time on the ball in the attacking final third. That's a fantastic tackle, though, by Spears, who releases Barton, still full of running, even though he's covered a lot of grass tonight. Spears, who's come across to the left-hand side, continued his run, back to Barton. Barton, nice ball inside. Support on the shoulder from Thomas. Thomas back to Barton. This could be lovely. In fact, there's no one on the far post in the end, but there's a lovely interchange between a number of players there that got Cardiff into the box, and the Bluebirds continue to play good football.
It's just so positive, I think, from City, even in these positions where they aren't having quite as much of the possession as they had in the earlier phases. Just Barton as well, not giving up on that ball and always being giving that option once he's given the ball away to get it back immediately. It's a good cross from him, but as you said, just nobody quite there on the end of it at the far post this time.
Two more changes for Watford. It's Oliver Stevenson and Bentley Seydoux who are coming on. Seydoux is going to replace Masia Edwards, and Stevenson will go into the centre-half position, replacing Alistair Gould. So looks like everyone on the Watford bench is going to get a run out by the goalkeeper. Treatment required in the middle of the park. So Cardiff themselves may be forced into a change, perhaps. So we have a pause in the game as Spears receives treatment, and Cardiff warming up their substitutes on the bench. A chance for us to recap. This was the first goal to the night, all the work of Isaac Jeffries, but as we spoke about in the first half on commentary, when he picks the ball up here, the composure when he's still got a lot to do, very impressive.
Yeah, just that awareness as well from Isaac, I think, to realise that he's got the options around him. He's running away from goal at the start of that once he's won the ball, but takes a shot and puts the team ahead.
This was Morgan Wigley. 11 seconds after taking off his tracksuit. Lovely lifted finish over the goalkeeper. Go back to live pictures. If you've been with us the whole time, you'll know that Watford did come back into it briefly. Almeida with a good header from a corner. But almost immediately Cardiff crafted another lovely goal. George Perrett feeding Barton. And Barton did the rest. And that leaves us at 3-1 after almost 75 minutes. Just confirmation of those substitutions for Watford on your screen. Cardiff look to play out once more from the back, although Barton is challenged strongly by Ames. Down the line. Cardiff will make ground and get another throw in. Clicking you might be able to hear is Tom furiously typing away. He's on double duty tonight. I always get the easy job.
The downside of a game being so interesting to watch, I'm afraid, is that the match report has to try and match it.
Cardiff again get a throw in midway inside the Watford half. Thomas looks to connect with Wigley. Ball is cleared away. Giles lets it bounce to marshal this. He'll probably run out of grass there. Oh no, he keeps it in. Cardiff, though, do they concede the ball? They do. Well won by Lawson. Cardiff, though, again, very quickly get their shape and system back and men behind the ball. As we say, the press might have died down slightly, but the organisation is still very good. Been reading a lot of positive comments on forums and social media about this under-21 side, and can absolutely see why. And Matthew Bloxham might even say they haven't been at their fluid best tonight. That's nice, and for once Spears is beaten. Chance for Watford to put the ball into the box. Spears was nibbling at the toes the whole way in, and in the end did just enough to cause a mishap in the cross. Lawson Richards has tweeted in, the year I was born, 1982, I don't quite remember it, but beating Newport County 3-2 on the 27th of December. Keep those coming. My first ever game was against Newport County, 88, Jimmy Gilligan with a hat-trick. Very quickly became my first ever favourite player. Wigley finds himself in a wide position out on the right hand side. A couple of step overs. Can he lift a cross in? He can. It's going to go over Barton. He will though come to Thomas. Thomas makes some room, tries to drill the cross in. He'll win a corner. And you feel at the moment, Tom, that Cardiff are fully in control of this game.
Yeah, certainly. I think there's been the odd hiccup here or there. We've maybe given the ball away a bit cheaper than we'd have liked, but again, City, even when this press hasn't been quite as aggressive as we've seen in moments of the first half, we're still winning it back quickly. And again, having the better of those chances that we managed to forge for ourselves.
Slight delay as the referee just wants to keep an eye on the pushing and pulling in the penalty box. Now Cardiff will be allowed to take the corner. It's the near post. It's good delivery, and Ortelli is once, twice, three times is able to catch it. Okay. Jeffries, as all Cardiff players do, just very good work to get back right side of the ball and allow Cardiff to make a tackle and win possession back. Everyone of this side is doing it. Foul throw, which continually amazes me that talented footballers can concede foul throws, and that's one of the worst throws you'll see all season. Almeida, the goal scorer, responsible. Kind of just marshalling this game now. They have the decisive 3-1 lead. 11 minutes of normal time remaining. But right now, it seems to be job well done. We'll see if Watford can create a grandstand finish. It's a nice touch from Twos, and he's threaded a beautiful pass to Jeffries. Jeffries cuts it back, looking for Wigley. Wigley, good first touch, drives to the byline. Can he pick out a ball? Oh, well, it needed Ortelli to take that off the toe of Trey George. That was more good attacking play from the Bluebirds, who just when you think they're easing their way to victory, then do something dynamic. More good approach play into the box, and it needed a good interception from the Watford goalkeeper.
Just like use of explosive pace, I think, by Wigley to get that really dangerous ball in low. Tessel Kelly well.
As we return to live action, almost the same thing happened again. Ortelli had to make a claim at his near post. It's been a very positive Thursday before Christmas, in that it's clear there's promise in the ranks of the Bluebird youngsters. The hard work that goes on behind the scenes and up at the complex at Llanrumney. Ball goes into the box. It's dealt with by Cook in one manner or another, and his goalkeeper Dennis falls on the ball. Let's replay that latest opportunity. One more from me, not really a festive game, but it fell in December, so I'll count it. My favourite ever Cardiff City game, the Battle of Ninian Park. Gary Thompson scoring the winner against Swansea for a young, impressionable 12, 13-year-old in the Canton stand that night. It was quite the evening, quite the memory. Looks to stand up Stevenson. Good support from Giles. Cardiff have done that all night. Teammates supporting teammates. Thomas tracked his man well once more. There's a little bit of shirt pulling. Which way the foul going to go? It's going to go against Watford. As Stevenson went to ground a little too enthusiastically. And that was dogged defending by Jack Thomas.
It's been good since he's come on, Thomas, I think. Just more of that style from him, where he's a properly tenacious defender, really, which is what this side is full of and why they typically concede so few goals as they've done this season.
Yeah. Excellent organisation all round. Matthew Bloxham, who's a very personable guy, but quite an understated figure. He's very polite, but doesn't seek the limelight. I think credit where credit is due. Clearly a very good coach, along with his support staff. It's nice from Watford, and Garcia Romero has a crossing opportunity. It's charged down, so the Hornets will get a throw, which they take quickly. Cardiff look to bring their line up. It's a nice feat by Ames. Ball into the box. Lovely delivery. Oh, that's a real chance for Watford to create a big finish. Beautiful feet, beautiful cross. But the header, the technique was all wrong.
Let off there for City, of course.
Do you want to explain what we were doing there while there was that break in commentary?
I will leave it to the imagination of the audience at home.
Well, he's sort of forgotten his phone, so the commentary team had to go searching. Ball gives Lawson something to chase. A little overhit, well marshalled by Giles, out for a goal kick. Watford continuing to work hard, of course, and credit to them. But that last chance aside, you feel that both teams perhaps know what the outcome of this is going to be. Cardiff, as they haven't had as much of the ball in this second half, firmly in control of this game. Charles into midfield. Again, a nice idea from George, who seems to have great peripheral vision and see the pitch very well. Didn't come off on that occasion. But This diminutive figure wearing the number 10 sees the pitch very, very well. Ball out to the left-hand side. Spears looks to stand up his man, and as he's done all night, does ever so well and wins a free kick. Cardiff will look to make a substitution. It's good to see Adetehi Kabadian about to come on. Has played recently in the U21s, but after such a promising pre-season, it was disappointing to see his progress curtailed by injury. Great now, though, to see him back amongst the ranks. Very dominant midfielder. Covers the ground well, wins tackles, and, can make a pass. And he's going to come on for Trey George, which might see either twos or Parrott pushed into a slightly more advanced position. And I think Trey George, particularly in this second half, where I think he's had a hand in a couple of goals, I think he's had a very good night, Tom.
Yeah, he certainly has. I think it's perhaps a bit of a understated performance compared to his usual showings, but you know, that assist, I think, for George for that Barton goal, the third of the night for the Bluebirds, you know, it's just epitomised how he likes to play. He likes to get forward and play his teammates forward whenever he can. Definitely a forward-thinking kind of player, thriving in this side this season as well.
Watford have brought a drone with them, so I don't know if it's getting into your camera shot occasionally. I assume they're picking up some footage for their TV channel. And the old curmudgeonly man that I am now is wondering if they might put it away. Foul in the middle of the park. That'll be a free kick to Cardiff. They look to spread it to Barton. Barton, oh, for once his touch lets him down, goes under the studs and out for a throw-in. We have just under 3 minutes left of normal time. Clears up, so another assured performance by the captain. And let's not forget that Jake Dennis made a number of, or at least two very good saves. One in the first half, one in the second half. So whilst it's been relatively comfortable for the Bluebirds, their goalkeeper has assisted them in that. Good press again from Wigley. That's not offside. Crossing opportunity for Watford. Twos is there. Miskicks the clearance, but as has been the case all night, there's a blue shirt in support. Is Barton. Barton, nice weight of pass back. Oh, George, I think he just wondered whether it was meant for twos and he stopped running. That's a shame because Cardiff had an opportunity to really drive forward. Again, good press, men around the ball, force a mistake, and Cardiff will have a throw-in. Right then, Tom, we're going to do the Sky Gary Neville. You've got a couple of minutes to think about your man of the match. I'll come to you in the next meaningful break in play. Throw in which Thomas will take. He goes down the line. Wigley flicks on. Barton, touch on the chest. Referee says it's handball. A little harsh. But Watford will have the free kick. They drill a ball forward. It's high, not particularly accurate. Game perhaps finishing in scrappy fashion, but Cardiff have managed this ever so well. Tom, if I were to put you on the spot on a night where there's been a number of good performances, who might you pick from the bunch?
Ooh, I'd probably have to lean towards, again, it's not an easy one either, but I'd have to probably lean towards Manny Barton. I think just based on tonight's performance, I think he's done really well whenever asked upon and won a good couple of fouls, frustrated his marker frequently, and a goal and assist really do speak for themselves at the end of the day.
Hard pressed to disagree with that. say, though, lots of good Cardiff City performances. Perrott, George, Jeffries. We'll reserve a special mention for Will Spears. I think it's been excellent at right back. We're going to have 5 more minutes of added time. Clearly the referee and fourth official don't want this one to end. Still time then for Watford, and if they could generate something from this free kick opportunity, it would set up a precarious last 5 minutes. Nabizada has the responsibility of taking the free kick and delivering a good set piece. Referee finally blows the whistle. Low trajectory, and it's well met by Giles. Had bodies coming towards him. Will there be a secondary opportunity? Shot at goal from Ames, the right back, who was in an advanced position. Doesn't trouble Jake Dennis in the Cardiff goal, and the Bluebirds will have a goal kick.
City, of course, only conceding from a set piece tonight. Just need to be switched on here in these closing minutes, and Giles did very well, to be fair to him there. Very dangerous angle, that ball coming towards. Cluster of bodies. Sees it out nicely, however.
Cardiff look to press and force a mistake and isolate their man. Really good decision making of when to go, when to stay. Giles doesn't quite make that. Spears will have to cover. It's come to Lawson. Lawson could finish this. Good save from Dennis. May have been straight at him, but it was struck with power. That would have set up the big finish. Cardiff still having to defend. Ball into the box. That's a dangerous ball, and there was a glance on that from Keys. Couldn't really alter the direction of the ball, though, and Dennis claims. And Jake Dennis has made an important contribution to this Cardiff City performance this evening.
Really has. I think he's been assured at the back. Making some pretty big saves, especially I think early on as well. That one that he caught on the bounce, managed to claim it as well as saving it.
It was brought away, but eventually Perrott just ran out of grass. Watford are finishing this game showing character and no little skill to put some pressure on the Cardiff goal. Cardiff holding firm, though, to speak to that excellent defensive record that Tom's been mentioning all night. Great press from Jeffries. And once more, tireless, summing up the Cardiff City work rate and performance.
It's been terrific, hasn't he?
Wins it back once more. Fantastic 30 seconds or so from Isaac Jeffries. Leg is left in a little bit on twos. There's going to be a booking for substitute Garcia Romero. But excellent, excellent work with and without the ball by Isaac Jeffries on that far side. We won't drag it out too much at the end of this game, Tom, so as you're typing away on the match report, your final summation and thoughts on this performance by the under-21s this evening.
Well, I'd say it's a performance that you wouldn't know that they'd played on the Tuesday night, oh, the Monday, sorry, as well. I just think it's been professional throughout, really have stuck to their game plan. Just overcome this visiting side. In the end, you know, if we managed to win this by 2 goals, I think it would have been deserved. Puts us in very good stead now with one match remaining in the group stage of the Premier League Cup.
Cardiff controlling the ball. George tries to thread the needle, but that will run to Ortelli. We are into the last minute of the added 5. It will be a real Royal Rovers finish now for this Watford team, who have continued to work till the end. But I think that they would agree that Cardiff have been the superior force this evening. Ball goes out wide to Stevenson, providing good width. It's that desire to try and win the ball back, although Watford do get into the box. Bodies around the ball, wearing blue shirts. Spears goes to ground, makes another fine tackle in an evening of fine tackles. And the full-time whistle will go. An impressive performance from the under-21s, deservedly taking this game by a score of 3-1. And that means that Cardiff City top Group F on that result tonight, going above Everton under-21s, leading the table on 8 points. And with one more game left to play. All teams now have played 5 games. Cardiff lead the table, 2 points ahead of Everton, Ipswich and Watford. And the Bluebirds thoroughly deserve that position at the top of the group. And Tom, it really just points to the fact that this Cardiff City team under Matthew Bloxham and Dane Facey have been in fine form for a couple of months now.
Yeah, exactly that. I think that they've had a great season thus far and really are building on these prior performances. You know, you'd think perhaps when we had left the Nathaniel MG Cup against senior opposition, perhaps take a bit of a dent in confidence, but no, they've come back, well, and just got result after result following it, and tonight added on to it, you know, playing in 2 game weeks before, you know, a Christmas break. It's the best possible ending to the week for Cardiff City, who, you know, finishing tonight in 2nd place on the PDL table and 1st place in this group in the PL Cup. It's been a really good week for the academy and for this under-21 side.
A real feel good for Cardiff City as we see some replays. Just a moment ago you saw Matthew Bloxham in the camera shot, tip of the hat to him, and before that Manny Barton, who may have been the standout player amongst a number of standout players this evening. Hope we've enjoyed our coverage of the under-21s. We'll leave you with pictures of these second half highlights. And there were a couple of goals in there as well. Goal scorers tonight: Jeffries in the first half, Wigley with his first contribution after coming on as a substitute, and then Manny Barton. There were other chances as well, this one for Wigley, which he couldn't quite get right, but he made a solid contribution. It's been all positive for the Bluebirds, and we hope you've enjoyed it. It's nice to bring you this under-21 coverage and this promise of the future that Cardiff City have. Now it's over to the men's senior team. They go again on Saturday against Sheffield United. And as I've said all night, please, if you can, get down to the stadium and show your support. But if you can't, join us on Cardiff City TV. My thanks to Tom. He's always great company on these under-21 games. My thanks for joining me, John Donovan, the whole of the Cardiff City TV crew. We will see you on Saturday. But for tonight, we'll leave you with the score 3-1 to the Bluebirds and wish you a very good rest of the week. Good night, everybody.